For centuries, mystics and scholars have been captivated by texts that promise hidden wisdom and supernatural power. Among these, Shams al-Maʿārif, often translated as the Book of the Sun of Gnosis, stands out as a cornerstone of Islamic occult literature, believed to have been written in the 13th century by the celebrated mystic and scholar Ahmad al-Buni. This grimoire has intrigued practitioners of magic, mystics, and historians alike. Shams al-Maʿārif is not just a manual of spells. It is a vast compendium of esoteric knowledge that combines magic squares, numerology, talismanic designs, invocations, and even aspects of Sufi mysticism. Its pages are said to be imbued with power duality of blessing and curse. That has led some to revere it as a source of divine illumination and others to fear it as a harbinger of misfortune. In this article, we will explore the origins, central themes, and lasting influence of Shams al-Maʿārif and attempt to answer the enduring question: what secrets lie hidden within these ancient pages? Historical background: the world that birthed the grimoire, the cultural and intellectual climate of the medieval Islamic world. The Islamic Golden Age was not only a period of scientific and philosophical breakthroughs, but also a time when mystical studies and occult practices had a respected place in intellectual discourse. Scholars, theologians, and mystics sought to explore the connections between the physical and spiritual realms. It is within this rich tapestry of learning that Shams al-Maʿārif was born, a work that straddled the worlds of rigorous philosophy and secret law. In medieval Islamic society, magic was not seen solely as a superstitious pursuit, but also as an avenue to understand the divine order of the universe. The language of the Quran, the studies of astronomy, and the philosophies derived from Greek thought all merged with indigenous mystical traditions. Against this backdrop, the integration of Sufi mysticism with occultism became a way of accessing inner truth and spiritual power. Who was Ahmad al-Buni? Ahmad al-Buni, credited as the author of Shams al-Maʿārif, was a scholar whose life and work remain partly shrouded in mystery. Although details of his biography are sparse, al-Buni is often portrayed as a polymath, a devoted student of the esoteric arts, well-versed in Arabic letters, numerology, and the sophisticated symbolism that pervades Islamic thought. His work resonated with the idea that the cosmos itself was a reflection of divine order, where every letter, number, and symbol had the potential to connect human beings with higher spiritual realms. As a mystic, al-Buni's writings draw upon earlier traditions while also charting new territory in the occult sciences. His compilation is a mosaic of magical practices, seen as both a guide for achieving protection and a tool for summoning powers that lie beyond the mundane. Thus, the grimoire was intended not only for aspiring magicians, but also for those who sought a deeper, philosophical insight into the forces governing life. Exploring the content, themes, and techniques within Shams al-Maʿārif. The grimoire itself is a composite work whose structure reveals multiple layers of meaning. Although its manuscripts exist in various versions and have been subject to numerous interpretations, several key themes consistently emerge: magic squares, numerology, and the mysticism of numbers. One of the signature features of Shams al-Maārif is its elaborate use of magic squares and numerological tables. In the medieval Islamic tradition, numbers were not merely quantitative markers. They were considered the very essence of cosmic order. The Arabic abjad system, which assigns numerical values to letters, enabled practitioners to decode hidden relationships between the written word and the cosmos. For instance, magic squares' geometric arrangements, where numbers are arranged in such a way that the sums of each row, column, and diagonal are equal, are used in the text to evoke balance and harmony with the underlying fabric of reality. The idea is that by aligning one's will with these cosmic constants, it becomes possible to harness energies that are both transformative and protective. This aspect of the grimoire underscores a fundamental belief in Islamic occultism. The universe is an ordered, intelligible creation, and numerology provides a key to its mysterious code. When the practitioner contemplates these magical squares, it is believed that they not only engage with abstract numbers, but also tap into the divine blueprint of the cosmos, jinn, angels, and the invocation of supernatural beings. Another core element of Shams al-Maārif is its detailed discussion on the evocation and command of supernatural entities. Islamic tradition holds intricate views on the taxonomy of spiritual beings, ranging from angels who represent the higher, pure forces to jinn, a class of beings endowed with free will and often associated with both benevolence and malevolence. The grimoire offers a set of invocations and rituals that claim to summon these entities for various purposes. Some passages instruct the reader on how to communicate with angels, beings who, according to Islamic theology, act as intermediaries between the divine and humankind. Other sections describe how to bind or exorcise jinn, who can be capricious and dangerous if not properly managed. The text's detailed recipes for these supernatural interactions illustrate the belief that the material world is in constant interplay with unseen realms. For practitioners, this meant that the boundaries between reality and the spirit world were permeable and navigable through proper ritual techniques, provided they respected the complex hierarchies and laws governing these beings. Talismans, sigils, and protective symbols. One of the most practical and intriguing aspects of Shams al-Maārif is its extensive coverage of talismans and protective magic. Throughout the pages, the reader encounters a wealth of symbolic form, diagrams, and instructions for crafting objects meant to bring about safety, healing, influence, and fortune. Talismans in the Islamic occult tradition are typically created by inscribing verses from the Quran or other sacred texts, often combined with numerological symbols. These objects are believed to embody the protective power of divine words and cosmic order. The grimoire details the correct methods for constructing these devices, including specifications of shape, color, and the precise arrangement of letters and numbers. Moreover, the creation of sigil symbols that serve as focal points for magical intent is a recurring theme. Sigils are designed with layers of meaning, often representing a convergence of spiritual energies that, when activated by the practitioner, serve as a shield or a portal to other realms. This symbolic language was integral to al-Bun's work, as he saw it as a means to silently command cosmic forces without the need for vocal invocations. The fusion of Sufi mysticism and occult practices. An especially fascinating dimension of Shams al-Maʿārif lies in its synthesis of occult magic. With Sufi mysticism, Sufism, the inner, mystical dimension of Islam, emphasizes the quest for divine love, self-annihilation, and union with the source of all creation. Though many Sufi orders have historically eschewed overt magical practices, certain esoteric schools adopted elements of magical symbolism to illustrate deeper truths about the nature of the soul and the cosmos. Within the grimoire, practitioners are encouraged to cultivate a pure heart, disciplined mind, and focused intent. The rituals described are not intended simply to manipulate external forces. Rather, they are pathways to inner illumination, the techniques of meditation, contemplation, and divine invocation work in tandem to elevate the practitioner's consciousness and align it more closely with the cosmic order. This blending of mystical spirituality with practical magic represents one of the text's most enduring appeals. For many, Shams al-Maʿārif is not merely a collection of spells, but an integrated system of self-transformation, a manual for achieving spiritual ascension while simultaneously negotiating the challenges of the material world, controversies, censorship, and the legend of the cursed text, the banned book, and its many critics. Throughout its history, Shams al-Maʿārif has been surrounded by controversy. Traditional Islamic scholars and jurists have often denounced the text, arguing that its practices contravene the orthodox teachings of Islam. Prominent figures, such as Ibn Taymiyyah, condemned the adoption of occult practices and warned that meddling with such forbidden knowledge could lead one astray. As a result, this grimoire has frequently been the target of censorship. In various parts of the Islamic world, versions of the text were burned, suppressed, or circulated only in secret among trusted initiates. This atmosphere of prohibition contributed to the notion that the book was not just a guide to magic, but a vessel of dangerous, quasi-cursed power. Its very concealment only fueled fascination and speculation about the secrets it might contain. Myths, legends, and the psychological impact of forbidden knowledge, the fear and allure surrounding Shams al-Maʿārif have given rise to myriad legends. Some practitioners report experiencing inexplicable shifts in fortune or psychic disturbances after reading certain passages, a phenomenon often attributed to the curse of the book. Whether these experiences are the result of genuine supernatural influence or the powerful effect of suggestion, they underscore the psychological complexity that comes with engaging with forbidden lore. In psychological terms, the concept of a cursed text functions as a potent symbol. It represents the boundary between the known and the unknown, the safe and the dangerous, the rational and the mysterious. The overwhelming human desire to tap into hidden power often brings with it a price. The anxiety and anticipation generated by the belief in a curse can ultimately transform a textual experience into an intensely personal and sometimes traumatic journey into one's own subconscious fears and desires. Contemporary influence and modern occult practices revival in the digital age. In today's interconnected world, Shams al-Maʿārif has experienced a form of digital resurrection. Once confined to secret manuscripts and obscure libraries, The text is now widely available online, read and discussed in forums, blogs, and academic publications. This accessibility has introduced the grimoire to modern occultists, mystics, and scholars who seek to explore its rich symbolism without the barriers of physical rarity or religious censorship. Online communities have reinterpreted the teachings of al-Buni, integrating them with modern practices of meditation, energy work, and even emerging technologies in digital art. Social media platforms provide a space not only for discussion, but also for the shared creation of modern talismans and sigils rooted in the traditions of Shams al-Maʿārif. The digital era thus acts as a catalyst for a new generation of occult practitioners, eager to explore the boundaries of mystical experience in a contemporary context. Influence on modern occultism and alternative spirituality. The impact of Shams al-Maʿārif extends far beyond its immediate historical boundaries. Its integration of numerology, talismanic magic, and Sufi-inspired mysticism resonates with various strands of modern occult thought. Contemporary authors, lecturers, and practitioners continue to draw inspiration from its pages, often citing the text as a major influence on their approach to spiritual practice and inner transformation. Modern occult traditions, such as neo-shamanism and new Sufism, sometimes echo the themes found in al-Buni's work. The emphasis on personal transformation, the balance of dark and light energies, and the pursuit of a direct connection with the divine are recurring motifs. In this way, Shams al-Maʿārif serves as a bridge between the medieval and the modern, its wisdom distilled into adaptable practices that continue to evolve as they are passed down through generations. Academic perspectives and esoteric scholarship. In academic circles, Shams al-Maʿārif occupies a unique position as both a historical document and an object of esoteric inquiry. Scholars of Islamic studies, religious history, and comparative mysticism examine the grimoire not only for its own content, but also as a window into the broader cultural and intellectual currents of its time. Researchers analyze the interplay between written symbols and metaphysical concepts in the text, exploring how medieval thinkers used occult practices to understand the divine order. Through critical study, they map the influence of Shams al-Maʿārif on later magical works, its relationship to earlier pre-Islamic and Middle Eastern traditions, and its place within the evolving landscape of occult thought in the Islamic world. The enduring appeal of Shams al-Maʿārif, a manual for transformation and protection. At its core, Shams al-Maʿārif is more than a manual of spells and rituals. It is a guide to understanding the intricate relationship between the material and the spiritual. For centuries, those who have turned to this grimoire have sought not only to command supernatural forces, but also to transform themselves. Its teachings encourage a deep engagement with inner consciousness, using symbolic language and ritual practice as tools for self-mastery. By studying magic squares, invoking angelic names, and creating talismans, practitioners believe they can align their personal energies with the greater cosmic order. Such alignment is thought to bestow protection from malevolent influences, foster healing, and even open the door to spiritual enlightenment. In this sense, the allure of Shams al-Maʿārif lies in its promise of personal evolution and transformative journey that begins with the courageous step of delving into the unknown. The paradox of forbidden wisdom. The very existence of Shams al-Maʿārif embodies the paradox of forbidden knowledge. It stands as a testament to the human quest for power and understanding, and yet it is shrouded in warnings and taboos. For many, the grimoire is the epitome of the occult, a text that offers great reward at potentially great peril. The stories of those who suffered misfortune or psychological turmoil after engaging with the book are interwoven with narratives of miraculous healing and profound spiritual breakthrough. This duality, the capacity to uplift or to curse, is part of what continues to fascinate and repel in equal measure. The fear of what might be unleashed by trying to master such a potent force serves as both a deterrent and an invitation to deeper exploration. In this manner, Shams al-Maʿārif has become a symbol of the transformative power of the occult, a realm where the ascent toward hidden knowledge is never without its risks. Conclusion: the timeless enigma of Shams al-Maʿārif. Shams al-Maʿārif endures as one of the most enigmatic, influential, and controversial works in the corpus of Islamic occult literature. Its pages, saturated with the mystical logic of numerology, talismanic magic, and Sufi mysticism, continue to illuminate the paths of those willing to confront the mysteries of creation. Whether regarded as a sacred manual for spiritual ascension, or as a cursed collection harboring dangerous secrets, its impact on the world of magic remains undeniable. In today's modern era, as occult practices garner new attention through digital communities and interdisciplinary scholarship, the legacy of al-Buni's work is being reassessed and reinterpreted. Shams al-Maʿārif remains a potent reminder of the delicate balance between enlightenment and parallel mirror, reflecting the eternal human desire to access the divine while grappling with the inherent risks of forbidden knowledge. For the modern seeker, the grimoire offers not only a window into a bygone age of mysticism, but also a challenge to explore the uncharted territories of the self. It asks each reader, are you prepared to embrace the hidden realms of the spirit? Knowing that the journey toward inner illumination is as fraught with danger as it is with promise? The answer to this question, like many found in the pages of Shams al-Maʿārif, lies hidden in the silence between the words, awaiting those brave enough to listen. As we continue to navigate the boundaries of our inner landscapes and the unknown dimensions of the cosmos, Shams al-Maʿārif remains an enduring beacon, a text that, despite its controversial nature and shadowed history, speaks directly to the heart of what it means to search for truth in a world filled with both light and dark mysteries. With its synthesis of ancient wisdom and practical magic, Shams al-Maʿārif compels us to reconsider the nature of power and transformation. It is a timeless repository of esoteric insight, offering lessons that continue to resonate with anyone willing to embark on the profound and perilous journey towards self-discovery and spiritual liberation.